guys, good evening. Welcome to my thoughts on Man United 0, that lot 5, okay, Liverpool 5. There's a podcast out later tomorrow, both video with me and my co-host, and also our audio version as well. But I want to get my thoughts on it down below here, because I'm going to do match reviews, but the only games I can watch, I watch the full match. And I was going to do it when I was on Atlanta, but the PC was still a bit, I'm quite sure it was okay. So I'll give my thoughts down below where I think the game went wrong, where I think this leaves Ollie, and what I would do, and what my thoughts are going forward. So I sort of missed the first 13 minutes. I didn't really, because I was on my phone watching it in the car, but obviously when you're in the car, it's not a stable connection all the time, and it can drop off massively. But I did see the game. I saw the goals go in, and I saw the problems, and then I obviously saw the incidents that happened in the match. So the team that Ollie picked is, I think, our strongest 11. You take out the 11, put Varane in there, his strongest 11 in my opinion. Is it the best 11? You could debate it a little bit. But I think Rashford on the left-hand side, Green on the right-hand side, and coming form is fine. Ronaldo has to start. It's Ronaldo. You're not going to drop him. No one's going to drop him, really. He's certainly not Ollie. And then McTominay and Fred is our best centre midfield partnership. Regardless of what you want to say about it, and you don't like either of them, it's best centre midfield partnership. Matt actually got legs, and Pogba, as we saw, we'll get to Pogba in a minute. My thoughts on Pogba, I'll repeat this in the podcast as well later tomorrow. And it was basically a simple kind of analysis of the game, really. This team isn't being coached well enough, isn't got desire in it, hasn't got the performance levels of certain players. It's just a complete mess from top to bottom at the moment. In terms of this is not an isolated incident. Villarreal, we won. I was there. We were outplayed in that game. Well, outplayed maybe strong. Outplayed maybe is probably the right word. They should have scored more one goal before they got the goal ahead. Atlanta, I think people have been a bit harsh on that performance. For me personally, my reflection game was United had 3 good chances, didn't take them. They took theirs. We take our chances. I think Fred should have scored. Rashford should have scored. Maybe should have scored 2. So it's, you know what I mean. Then obviously now we blew from away, but again it was systematic of individual errors again costing United in that game, and it proved that against better side can't come back from that. Leicester was proof of that. You look at Atlanta, we didn't improve in that game. Overall, mistakes at the back cost us, but luckily the firepower was there to combat Atlanta's weak defence and weakened team. Leicester, we were very poor. Villa, they beat us. Everton, we were fine until we made changes, and then we just didn't react to a transition play. Samson, we were poor in. Wolves got lucky in. This is not an isolated incident. So people saying sack Ollie. If you're saying sack Ollie because you've been all the way out, your opinion's kind of not really relevant now, in my opinion, because there's certain media outlets who've been Ollie out from day when he got the job, and that's not a fair analysis of managers, in my opinion. You've got to give him time to get a body of work at the club he's at. So if you've been Ollie out in the media or as a fan from day one, then all right, fair enough, but that's not really fair on any manager. And you know, but if you're Ollie out, if Ollie out now after 3 years, I'm not Ollie out, Ollie in. I want Man United to win. And right now, this manager is not getting the best out of his players. However, the players are also to blame for this as well. Maguire's not playing well enough. Shaw was shocking today. Wan-Bissaka goes for when he feels like it, and he's not been the same. I think Pogba is just a disgrace as a player. This is the guy fighting for his future, and he's playing like a player who's basically got a lifetime contract. For me personally, I would not play Pogba ever again. He ain't going to sign a new contract, is he? So I'm not playing. I'd send a message to them if Ollie stays. That is, get that in a second. I'd say you're not stand deal or you're not playing. Simple as. We can't rely on Pogba at the best of times. Let alone when he's a contract situation. So Bruno is not at the same level he was at before, but then again he's got credit in the bank for me personally. People getting on Ronaldo's back. When you say Ronaldo, you know what you're going to get from him. The guy who drops deep, and he's not the most avid presser of the ball, but I think he's pressing more people than he can credit for. But that is down to the ownership and the management. You know what Ronaldo is. It's not a fucking secret. So people criticising Ronaldo. No, criticise the manager or the owners or whoever else decided not to go through the deal. Because if that's the problem with the team, I think it's very easy to say Ronaldo's messed it all up. That is not the only problem. Ronaldo is fine. Guy made a great point on the game. He said Ronaldo had regionally United. He had Tevez, Rooney, Jason Park, and Fletcher. Oh, I think it was those four I mentioned. They all worked around and were four around him. So you can't blame it all on Ronaldo. Can't blame it all on De Gea. Can't blame it all on Fernandes or whatever. That game today was a team that is trying to press but can't do it. Now, is it down to Ollie? Is that Ollie's fault? Not realising they can't do it and trying to force them to do it? Is it down to the players not listening to the manager and not doing what he wants to do? Or is it down to the fact that the players cannot play the way Ollie can't? Is it Ollie's fault not changing it? Is it players who can't do it? Or whatever, or they're just ignoring him and not trying to do it? Whatever the reason is, this cannot continue. Now, I said on Twitter tonight, I said he will not be sacked, and people will probably think, oh, you're all in. No, I'm not. I want Manchester United to win. We've been on the podcast before. We'll get into more detail with Simon later tomorrow, probably. You've got to there's a difference between supporting a manager who's not getting results and saying the reality of the situation. They will not, in my opinion, will not sack Solskjaer yet. They will not. There's no indication yet on the media that he's going to be that he's gone. Is it right? Is it right to call them? Is it right to sack him? Maybe, but if you sack him, you're getting Conte. That's the advantage I can think that will come in. So today the goals were just Liverpool were not the best. They were very good. United again down to individual errors, pressing and not getting close enough, not pressing hard enough. Bruno makes the press, they don't realise it, and they don't go at all as a man. They all have a half second left. United never do a full press. It's always like a jogging press. They get sort of close. Second goal again. It's how many times are we going to concede a goal and it goes across our penalty to the far post? It keeps happening. Even if you are with the opinion that Ollie is the problem, surely the players themselves think, you know what, lads? When the ball goes like that, we need to make sure that someone at that post is switched on. It keeps happening. A different kind of variation, but the same problem happens. The third goal is down to desire. Salah is the only guy in the penalty looking trying to get that ball and tap in. And the fourth goal is just once again just switching off. Luke Shaw had a shocker today. To be fair, Luke Shaw's been great last year or so, but he had a shocker today. And the second half, the fifth goal is just simply down to it brings Paul Pogba on. United can see the goals because they were too narrow, so he brings Pogba on and goes to a diamond. Too narrow again. Pogba in midfield was a disgrace. It can be a disgrace, at times. He's not good enough space at midfield. Again, the game's already lost by then, so he's not the reason why we lost the game. But once again, he's caught in the middle of the pitch. Then the ball goes through and Salah's in. It's actually game already over anyway. And then he lunges in on a 2-footed challenge. You can't have Pogba in this team. You can't. He's a passenger. He is a problem. Now, he's not a new player. There's plenty of them not playing well. But it had to be him, didn't it? That come off the bench, give way a goal. Wasn't anyone did that, though, to be fair to him. To him. And then gets sent off for a straight red card. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, red card. As soon as I saw it, red card, I thought, that's... I was very surprised how quickly he gave the yellow card. I thought at least he'd go look at the monitor first before giving a card. I wasn't sure it was definitely, but I thought that looks like a bad one to me. And my gut was probably red. Sorry, play confirmed my thoughts that it definitely was. And after that, United just, damage irritation, wasn't it? Liverpool just kind of game managed it out. Could have been more. Great save from Arnold from De Gea. De Gea is not a fault for any of the goals, guys, today, so I don't want anyone criticising De Gea in the comment section. But where's Lee Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I think it feels like Mourinho 2.0. Not so much like they move around the club instead of being toxic and players falling out with the manager, but it feels like we're just waiting for the inevitable. Or actually, tell you what, it's more like Van Gaal, I'll say, because it's not toxic as it was in Mourinho. But we all knew Van Gaal was dead man walking for a while. This feels the same. Now, I'm not saying that Ollie I'm not saying that if you change manager, everything will be perfect. But in reality, the board ain't changing. You're not going to get rid of the players. There's only one way for something changing. And this is it. I don't think Ole will get the results he needs next few games, because I don't think his team has got the confidence and belief good enough. Even if we're going to his games against Spurs and City and Atlanta away in great form, these are tough games. Spurs have a habit of occasionally putting a good performance, like against Man City when the game 1 of the season. Atlanta, if they get their some players back fit and they get a 2-goal lead again, they will be tough. And Man City, it's always a tough game, regardless. Now, do I think he'll be sacked? I don't think so, not yet. But it feels like the beginning of the end for me. And look, I'm not going to sit here and be one of these guys who's going to say, I want him out now, I'm going to hope we lose. No, I want to change it round. I just don't think he will. But if you want him sacked the next 24 hours, I think him for a bit of a shock, because I don't think it's going to happen. Now, if he loses to Spurs on Saturday, that might be it. But again, I don't think they'll do it now. Now, football can surprise you. Things can change. It could be massive difference overnight. But there's nothing. I've not heard anything. I'm not a guru or anything like that. But my thoughts is, I hope he turns it round. I have doubts he will, because I just don't think these players are performing the level they need to be at. We can debate that. We'll debate that in tomorrow's podcast, which will release at some point in the afternoon or evening. I don't think they perform well enough, and this just feels like a Van Gaal situation where you're like, what's going to happen. We know the end road with this, and we're getting to a point now where I just don't see him turning it around, because even before this is not just a Liverpool game. The results before that mask the performances, and when you're winning games, you're not playing well. You can say, winning games though, hopefully that'll be confidence. But the performances are getting worse. Losing to Villa, drawing to Everton, losing to Leicester, losing to Liverpool, not convincing other games either. It's just not good enough. And as much as Ollie has got credit in the bank, apparently the results will dictate the future of the manager. So again, some of my thoughts, guys. Liverpool were a better team today. United didn't make it that hard for them. But if you want Ole to be sacked, I don't think we'll see it next 24 hours. I could be proven wrong. I could wake up tomorrow morning and he's been sacked. I doubt it, but we'll see. So we'll do a podcast tomorrow, guys. I want to get my thoughts on it today. I'm not going to put a thumbnail on this, guys, because I've not had time to do a thumbnail for these videos yet, to be honest with you. And also I lost it because obviously the whole PC thing. So yeah, I will catch you tomorrow on the podcast, where we're going to more depth and talk about players. But my thoughts on it were, Ollie's not doing well enough, but the players also need to be looked at. And I don't think anything's going to change yet. If we lose the Spurs on Saturday, maybe then. But we'll see. And right now, the only option I think that I can see coming in would be Conte. But if that was the way it went, back the manager. You don't do what some media outlets have done and just slander the manager day one. But we'll see what happens, guys. And hopefully the team can turn around. But it's a bad day, horrible day actually. But we support the club, not a certain manager. You get behind the club while he's here. Get behind him. But it feels like the beginning of the end for me. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Thanks for listening and watching. So thanks for watching. Catch you all next time. Bye-bye.